Myself. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I just realized I was muted all this time. How are you all doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. I hope you can hear me. I was just like, why am I not seeing myself? That thing just sort of moving when I'm talking. But now I think it should be fine. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. How are you all doing? Happy Thursday. I hope you are well wherever you are. I miss you guys. It's been a couple of days. So hopefully it's been amazing. As our faves, I honestly don't know if they're still in New York or if they're back in California. I'm assuming they're back in California. Who knows? Because no one has. They just sort of popped up some places, and nobody knows where they will be until they tell us, which is the way it should be. And so it has been wonderful. I was very happy that they were in New York. Seems everything went well and they're safe, and hopefully they're back safe with their little ones. At least I'm thinking. I don't know. As they operate in stealth, as should be. But I don't know about you guys, but I still can't get over this seminar. I don't know. It's probably too is just like the environment, the aesthetics, just the whether it's the flowers, the colors, Megan's outfit. I've seen photos, and oh my god, I forgot about them. Photos of, like, I guess little goodie bags or giveaways of the sort of the burlap bags, which I love those things. I use them for my soaps, and so they are fantastic. So I don't know about you, but I haven't been able to get over and get past or get beyond, or not that I want to just, sort of stay with it for a little bit about the seminar or the summit that they had with the Surgeon General, and also with the families that they've been building relationships with for the year. But I love this photo. Just found it on Twitter, and it is just it's fantastic. I think also it's on their Sussex's one of their first pages on their website. Can't speak, on their website. And so I just love it. Of course, that's Carson Daly on the left, and then Harry and Meghan, of course, and then the Surgeon General, Vivek Murthy, on the right in the audience. But it's been an amazing thing, amazing success from every, other than, I haven't really been paying attention to the British press, so I don't know, other than them whining about Harry and Meghan, 7 car, car motorcade or whatever, which they normally do because they didn't get photos, so they're going to whine about something. And so it's funny that they always say that, oh, Harry and Meghan are whiners. And I have not met the people that are just whiny as the British press. It's just like, they're so irritating. And so, but on every way and every reporting of it has been amazing. It's been incredibly positive. And one of the things that I love that the Sussexes have done is they've sort of bypassed the mainstream media, not mainstream, but the national media, like the CNNs and all of that stuff, and even like CBS and stuff, even though that they reported on it. But they kind of focus more on the grassroots local news outlets. And I remember, I think it was like a month and a half ago or whatever, they had joined with an organization that were really focused on, because one of the thing is local news are dying out, and everything is now sort of farmed out to the national news, like the NBCs and the MSNBCs and the CBS and whatever, and the local news and the local news channels and local press is dying out. And so I was really happy to see that, because Harry and Meghan were part of that. They were, I think they helped to fund it. And so it was really great to see them put that into practice by, involving, like, the New York ones and all of the, I think it's called Spectrum One now, I think, in New York. And so it was really great to see them involving local news, and of course, kicking out, or at least excluding any British tabloids that have set up shop in New York, like the Daily Mail and the Express, and I'm assuming the Sun as well. Um, they've totally bypassed them. So it's been really great to see them do that. And so we've been getting a lot in New York, a lot of local reporting about it. It's so funny because and also because they've involved the local press. It's sort of like what because covering the Sussexes has been mostly the Rupert Murdoch post, which is very, they're from Rupert Murdoch, so they're very negative, very nasty towards the Sussexes. But because the so many of the other local stations have been covering the Sussexes, it's sort of muted down, or sort of like diluted the potency of the attacks from the Post and the Daily Mail and stuff, because so many other people are reporting about it. So it's been really positive. I mean, and again, the British press have been mostly mute for me, so I don't know what else they're saying other than the whining about that. It's the only thing, and I think most of the squad have muted them. So other than people, were posting that stalker video of the Daily Mail stalking them, their van, their vans going around. But pretty much the squad have muted them, or at least the people that I follow have muted them. So I haven't seen. So thank goodness my mind and my, mental health has been protected. So yeah. So I don't know about you guys. Maybe you're over it and moved on to the next thing, but I've just been still, kind of really into it. And, so, but before we even get back to that, so some stuff happened, that we got last night. So I'm gonna actually start with that, and then I'm gonna come back to the the seminar. But this we got this last night. It's so funny, again, which is why I thought that maybe the Sussexes were still here. I don't know, but they posted this on they posted it, and then some squads got it, and then they took it down, and I was like, well, what's happening? And so they yesterday was the International Day of the Girl, I think it was called. I for some reason I just didn't know it, and so they were celebrating it with a Girl Scout troop in New York. So whether this is Archewell, as in the Archewell found the what is it, the co-CEOs of Archewell, I guess you can call them, whether it was them or Harry and Meghan stayed back and did it, I don't know, because it doesn't say. But this is what they posted, and of course, look at the Harry and Meghan. I mean, they need to really, let people purchase their merch, because their merch are really cool. They have all this Archewell merch. But anyways, that they are giving away. But this is what dropped, just in case you hadn't seen it. It says, today the Archewell Foundation celebrated International Day of the Girl with the Girl Scouts of Greater New York, Troop 6000. Troop 6000 was started in 2017 as a Girl Scout troop in New York City, specifically for young girls 5 to 18 living in the shelter system, to provide a supportive community for the girls to make friends and to have new fun experiences together. Troop 6000 is a vibrant community that empowers girls to confidently achieve their future goals through weekly meetings, badge activities, leadership development. The programs give girls the courage and the tools they need to thrive. The program now serves more than 1,000 Girl Scouts in 25 shelter sites throughout New York City. Earlier this year, Troop 6000 expanded its program to support migrants and asylum-seeking families arriving in New York City, and proudly offers bilingual programming. Archewell Foundation was thrilled to join the girls and their troop leaders for dinner, and provided a donation of scarves, beanies, and tote bags. They're holding their totes right there. And we are proud to celebrate the girls locally and globally, today and every day. And so there was this letter also on the site from Meghan, but she took it down, or they took it down. So I'm not sure, but this is what it said before they took it down. Our dear friends at Troop 6000, on this international Give the Girl, we celebrate the strength, courage, and resilience that each of you embodies. As a member of Troop 6000, you are part of a global network of young leaders, and your potential knows no bounds. Continue in your to be curious, confident, and fearless in pursuing your dreams. Your dreams are guiding stars on your journey to success. We believe in you and are excited to see all the incredible things that you will accomplish, Meghan. And so again, they had dinner with them, and from how it read before, it read like it as if they had dinner with them last night. And so I don't know if it, whoever posted it before they were supposed to post it. That's why they took it down. I don't know. But they had dinner with the girls. So again, that's why I don't know if they were still in New York yesterday. And if they're not, because again, they are operating on stealth and nobody knows what they're doing and where they are unless they tell us. But however it is, I'm just happy that they're doing what they need to do, and they're doing what they're doing, and they are having fun with it. And one of the things I didn't realize, for some reason, I only know Meghan with Harry. So I didn't know her before. I didn't really, I had seen this picture before, but it's so wild. I didn't even notice that their outfits, I didn't notice their clothes, and I didn't realize it was like Girl Scouts. In my country, the brown, it's called brownies, but I guess it's probably the same thing here. But Doria apparently was their scout leader in her Girl Scouts. You see Meghan there holding on to her mom, grinning on Doria's left. And this is her. And apparently in 2018, for Meghan's wedding, this Girl Scout troop, there was like a video from ABC News of this Girl Scout troop, watching the wedding. That's them there at the bottom watching Harry and Meghan's wedding, and just talking about how they love Meghan and how she inspires them. They actually called her the Girl Scout princess. It was just so cute. It was like the Girl Scout princess. I was like, oh, and they were talking about, how they're really, she inspires them because of how Meghan speaks up for women and speak up for girls. And, so they were all sitting there watching the Meghan and Harry's wedding, and it's wild. So I had never seen it before. And so thank you, squatties, who posted it. And this is, I guess, another area of Meghan's life that I really just didn't know. And not really into Girl Scouts, barely ever even eat the cookies. So so that's, so it was just really cool to see. And I'm like, well, no wonder, it's so important for her. And actually, there was another picture of her, even as an adult, celebrating with a Girl Scout troop. But again, the bottom one is 2018. So again, Meghan's and Harry's wedding day. And it is really cool. So again, I don't know if they're here. I don't know or if they're if they've left, and it's James, because James Holt and also his co-CEO, they were both here. Both of them hosted the different sessions at the seminar before Harry and Meghan came on. So I don't know if they're the ones that had dinner with the girls yesterday, or it was Meghan and Harry and them. I don't know. So I don't know if we'll ever know. So, but it's just really cool. Emmy, hello, Ami. Ami said brownies are part of girls' guides. Girls' guides are part of the British system. I was a pixie, then a brownie. Oh, I'd never heard of a pixie before. Oh, that's very interesting. Very cool. I was in the brownies, and I think I was in one meeting. I went to one meeting, and that was my days of a brownie. And then I went to like a 4-H, and I think I was there for like 2 meetings, and that was the end of my girls group in school. It never worked out for me. I was more of a sports person, so I was more going off and playing basketball and netball and stuff like that. So So this is a little bit different from my world. Yeah, so but I guess the brownies are part of, she said brownies are part of Girl Guide, and that's the British. Well, okay, because we were on the, we, even though my country has been independent, before I was born, the and we've been a republic, I also, um the so even though we are, we still have a lot of the British system, I guess, is what they grew up with. So yeah, so I would see why Girls Guides and brownie stuff. So yeah, as part of that system, we still have a lot of, their system. Hopefully it's a lot less now. um I'm still always amazed that my mom grew up with the Queen. It just blows my mind. She's like, yeah, she came and visited once, and I was like, I was so shocked when she said she knew who the Queen was. I just didn't think they knew. I was no idea. Um, Patricia says I was a brownie and elevated to the Girl Scouts. Oh well, there you go. Congratulations on your elevation, there, Patricia. That's very cool. And again, with International Day of the Girls, who better to celebrate with, than the Girl Scouts? Let's see. What else happened last night? So late last night we had also this. We all know what's going on in the Middle East. Very, very heartbreaking, very, very traumatic, very upsetting in so many ways. What is going on with Israel and Palestine and Hamas, and wherever you are in the spectrum of that, for me, just it's just a horror show all around. And especially for me, just watching the people of Palestine just be decimated with for me, it's just the rest of the world's like, everyone is on Israel's side, and then it's like I keep tweeting this all the time, like what about the people of Palestine? Nobody care that there are human beings there that are dying as well, and it's very upsetting to watch. It's very, 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 very upsetting to watch what's going on there. And the death on either side, and again, innocent people on either side are dying for what? Why? And it's just that's a whole long story of how I feel about this whole thing. I mean, I guess a lot of you could, remember when Israel came and Invictus, I was struggling because of what I know is happening in the Middle East at the time. And it's just something that's really oppressing people, is something that really, really is a sore spot for me as a Black woman. I know what that feels like, and I know what it is like to be on the receiving end of those things. And it's very upsetting to me to see people oppressed. And now just it feels like people don't care. And so, and again, there is, on both sides, there is just people are just dying, and innocent people who just want to live a life and just want to live in peace. So it's very, very upsetting. Again, whichever side of it you fall on, I look, we are where we are. But anyways, Harry and Meghan put out a statement. I'm just going to move my banner so I can read it out just in case you didn't see it. They put out a statement. I know early in the week, I think King Charles put out a statement. The Cambridges put out a statement. Don't ask me what they said. I didn't really pay attention. I just know they did. But Harry and Meghan, I know there were people saying that, oh, we're going to contact their team, especially this one blogger is like, I'm contacting their team to see what they say, because everybody want to know what their feelings are about it. And so this is what the Sussexes say about it. It says, at Archewell Foundation, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, we stand against all acts of terrorism and brutality. We are supporting our partners and organizations on the front line in Israel to provide urgent aid needed and to help all innocent victims in this unconscionable level of human suffering. And so that's the for me, very there's nothing controversial about it per se. And so even with this, I mean, I look at it and I'm like, and some people do have a problem with part of this. My only issue with this is, where it says, we're on the front lines in Israel. And I'm like, again, the question I've been asking over and over and over: what about Palestine? What about the people of Palestine? There are 2 million people in Palestine living in an open prison, being oppressed for years, and the world does not care. And so that was my only thing. I know other people have asked questions about this as well. What about Palestine? And I know that last year, World Central Kitchen were there. They were, I mean, wherever there's a struggle, World Central Kitchen is. The Sussex, obviously, we know, work with World Central Kitchen. They also work with the Humanity Crew that is also in the region. So whether it means that the organizations that they're working with is based in Israel and they can get, supplies to the people of God who are in Gaza, that could be what it means. But I know that yesterday, I think Egypt has said, I think they have closed. I don't know what they closed the border or they're just not accepting refugees. And I know the only road, I guess, to safety for refugees to get out of Gaza was bombed, and so the people are basically stuck. They're stuck, and electricity has been turned off. No food is going in, no water. And so I'm like, at the moment, it's just like, it's very upsetting to know that millions of people are in Gaza with no food, no electricity, no water. Well, what is going to happen to them then? This is just like, for me, I'm looking at it like genocide. This is like, what do you, if you don't have food and water to people and you're bombing them, what do you expect to happen? So it's very, 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 very upsetting to see what is going on over there. And so the Sussexes are, again, they're like, look, we stand against all acts of terrorism, no matter where it comes from, no matter who is doing it, and I'm hoping that the people that they're working with, and again, also, what is the name of the organization that they work to get rid of devices, bombs, and stuff like that. Prince Harry works with the Halo Trust. Halo Trust, I think they're also based in Israel, and they have been really trying to clear mines from Palestine and all. So they're also there. So I know Harry and Meghan have relationships with them, and maybe others that are based there. But hopefully they can, because their thing is that we want to make sure and take care of all people who are injured. So that's their thing. So maybe that's the, my only thing is like, no, just about every statement I've seen is like, the sentiment is we care about Israel, and that's fine. I care about Israel as well, but they have all the support. And what about the Palestinians? What about these people who have been oppressed for years? What about them? What about their humanity? And why are they considered less? Why are they being treated as inferior? Their humanity is treated as inferior. So that's been my whole thing with this whole thing is, and there's so many children that are there, and that are, it's like, I'm like, what? And it's been so heartbreaking to see, on that. So I'm glad the Sussex is just focused on, just on a humanitarian level, making sure all people are taken care of, making sure anyone who's injured, as much as they can, helping organizations that they don't care which side you're on. If you're injured, we're taking care of you. So kudos to the Sussexes. I just want, for me, allies to specifically say, I'm supporting you. I'm supporting the people of Palestine, because again, they're sitting ducks, and the majority of people are not. For me, what I see, the Western government, at least, they're all like, we're supporting Israel, and nobody is saying, I'm thinking, if I'm in Palestine, how do I feel about that? How would I feel where I'm sitting duck, bombs are coming, and no one is pledging support for me? And so so that's, for me, my thing. What about the people of Palestine? They are human beings. They are not inferior to the Jews. They are, they are humans, like they're human, like every single one of us and every single one of them, and should not be treated as inferior. And their humanity should be embraced just as much as we embrace the Jews' humanity. And so that's been my whole thing about this. Is very, very upsetting to see people being treated less than animals. And so I just, yeah. So please pray. Please pray. I know we are a praying community. Please pray for all of them. And again, on both sides. I mean, there are people in Israel that are dying too. People just want peace. They want peace. And that's the thing. If you want peace, you will pursue peace. And, they keep saying, we're, the peace plan. And it's just like, well, how are you going to have peace when you are oppressing a nation of people? You can't have peace when you are oppressing people. The people that are oppressed are going to fight back. Nobody wants to be oppressed. I wouldn't want to be oppressed, and I would fight back. And so for me, I love my friends. I love, I'm a person of the Bible, and the Jews are God's people, and I respect that. I completely respect that. But I also think, as for me, as God says, to those whom I love, I rebuke. And as friends, we need to be able to say the truth to our friends. We need to be able, when they're going in the wrong path, we need to be able to say, no, this is wrong. And I feel like the U.S. and so many of the Western governments who claim to be friends to Israel are not being the friends they need to be. When you see your friends are doing something, i.e., oppressing people and having people in what is literally called an open prison, you have to be able to say that. That is wrong. If you don't want it for yourself, why would you allow that? And why would you allow your friends to do it? And then to basically gaslight the world. It's like, okay, we're going to have peace. We're going to have peace. But how are you going to have peace when you're oppressing the people? It's like, you can't have peace. You know what I mean? So we gotta have to say to my friends, like, again, I have a lot of friends who are just like, no, I can't agree with your government on this. And I have no problems with the Israeli people. I do have with the government of Israel and what they've done to the Palestinian people. And the fact that there's so many things that have happened where the Western governments have not said anything. And then you allow Israel to feel like, okay, I could treat these people anyhow I want. And that is the sad part about it, because for me, I'm like, Israel, don't you remember what it felt like when you were in prison, when you were enslaved for 400 years in biblical times? You had the whole Holocaust. Don't you remember? Well, shouldn't that really spur you to empathy, that you would never treat someone in that way? Shouldn't that? And so those are the things, like, it's very, very difficult, because the other day I was praying, I was like, God, I know these are your people, and I respect that. And I support them. But again, when I think of them as people like, okay, they are our friends. But I feel like as friends, we need to be able to speak the truth to our friends when they're doing something that is not right, when they're doing something that hurts people. We need to be able to say those things to our friends. And you know what? You can, in those times, they may not want to be your friends when you speak truth to power. We have to speak it anyway. Especially in times like this, we can't just be like, okay, my friends can go do what they want because they're my friends, when they're doing wrong and hurting others. We have to speak the truth. And so my thing with all of this is like, look, if you want peace, you pursue peace. You pursue it in a way that is right. You cannot have peace when you have this kind of things, when you have the people that you supposedly want to pursue peace with, when you have them in bondage. That is impossible. And so that's the thing I'm praying for that somebody rises up with some kind of common sense in this situation to understand this is untenable. And not only your people are getting, there's so many Israelis that are dying and are going through all of this stuff. And all they want is peace. They don't want to be part of any of these things. They want peace, and they're put in a situation where now they're fighting for their own lives, and then they're watching their neighbors going through the same thing. Why? And so it's really sad. I saw a video today of John, I think it's Jon Stewart, I guess his name, one of these comedian guys who had a show. And in 2014, he did a show where he started talking about this literal thing that I'm talking about in 2014. And I retweeted the video today because honestly, if you saw that video today, you'd think he was talking about some things that are going on right now. Because it's exactly what's going on right now, including Ukraine. And it's just like, are you serious? And this is like this comedy bit that he was doing from 2014. So all of this times and before, the same pattern is and nobody is changing. And it's kind of, you do the same things and expect a different result. And it's just like, So that's my whole thing with this stuff. I'm just praying for peace. I'm like, praying that, because it hurts my heart to see people treated as less than human. It hurts my heart to see it. And again, for what? For land, for money, for what? Are people not more valuable than those things? And this is what happens when you don't value people's humanity. This is what happens. And so it is just really, it's, God, it just, I'm like, that's why for me, I cannot go along with, I can't go along with groupthink. I refuse to go along with any kind of propaganda, government propaganda, whatever. When you see something, you call it out. And you sometimes you put relationships at risk, you put friendships at risk, but it's like we have to be in a place where we risk friendships, but our friends know the truth and they know there are things that we need to change. We all need it in our life. Nobody want to hear the truth sometimes because it hurts and we don't want to change, but they have to be changed. And it starts with friends and family calling each other out and be like, not accepting this bad behavior from each other. We have to be able to speak the truth. And so that no one gets away with stuff like this. So I just, again, value humanity above all politics, about all of those things. If I love someone and I value their humanity, I will not do those things towards them. I will not do those things. And so that's where I am. I don't want to belabor that point. So anyway, Naughty Doctor says Israel has a right to exist. Yes, Palestinians don't want them to. The campaign is about Israel living in peace. It is terrorist to leave Israel, to live, then there'll be peace. Palestine should stop its attacks. That's the thing. They're both attacking. That's the thing. It's what is not reported a lot of times is, we see this big thing, or at least it looks like a big thing that just happened with Hamas, except Palestine lives that reality every single day of their life. Every single day of their life. That's why they call Gaza the open prison. They literally are imprisoned and live that reality every single day. So each have a right to live. Each have a right to exist. And that is what I'm talking about. Valuing humanity. It's not one better than the other. This one has a right to live. Well, you are both human beings. You're sharing the same land. You both have a right to exist. You both have a right to exist. It's the same thing. And what has been happening is when, and the narrative, and this is why the press and it's so important that we understand narratives, is that when something happens, for example, what happened with Hamas and all of that, it's terrorism, right? And rightly so. But when Israel does it to Palestine, the Palestinian people, it's called defending yourself. It's like, but you just did the same thing. But how is that not the same terrorism, though? And that is the narrative and how the media presents things. And so, again, we have to be careful about how when we read stuff, this is a narrative. Well, why is one defending herself and the other one is called terrorism? When they're both hurting people and they're both, hurting each other and killing each other. Why is one labeled one thing and one's labeled something completely different? And so it's like, again, they both have a right to exist. They're both human beings, and that's the thing for me. Donna says Palestine was invaded just like Ukraine was invaded, so they have a right to fight back against the oppression. So Iran and Saudi Arabia should intervene and help the Palestinians. And again, there you go. See this different narrative. Ukraine was invaded by Russia, and we look at it, okay, Russia should not be invading Ukraine. And so Russia is like, quote unquote, the bad guy, right? Palestine, they had the land, and Israel invaded. But notice how the narrative is different. Palestine is the aggressor, and Israel is the one it's like, and that is, again, if you want peace, you have to resolve the hypocrisy in the reporting, in the narratives, and all of those things. Because why is one called one thing? Why is Ukraine and Russia called one thing, and then it flips when it's Palestine and Israel? Because again, Israel is the invading party on the Palestinians. So why is it different? And so why is it treated different? And so it's very, very, again, if we could get rid of the politics and just look at it on a human level, on a humanity, a person-to-person level, is when we strip away all that stuff and look at, can I look at this person and love this person? Can I look at this person and value this person as a human being just like myself? Would I want to be treated the way I'm treating them? And I think that is the level we have to get back to. It's simple, it's simplistic, yes, but if we don't get back to that, we're going to have a genocide happening. So, and I don't know that anybody would want that, even though if you listen to the language again, some politicians, American politicians, that is what they've been preaching. And so it is just really sick. Let's see. Gwen says, Tashmak, absolutely. People are complaining about Harry and Meghan, and what they need to do is crazy. It's just, there are always going to be complaints about something, unfortunately. There are always going to be. Margie says, agreed, pedal, two wrongs don't make a right. Also, there are domestic war in Sudan, yet international media choose to ignore until it starts affecting the world. These needs to stop before it gets bad. Exactly. It's like, well, do we cover these people? Is there something in this country that's valuable to us that we need to get from them? So then if it is, then we'll make sure the media cover it. If not, we'll just ignore. So yeah. Herndon says, give back the land they stole. See, like, again, if I was in the party, that was, if I was the one that had the land and it was stolen, how would I react? And again, there's got to be humility. There's got to, the arrogance that is there has got to go in order for them to be able to sit down and talk and sit down and resolve this. It is not impossible. It is not impossible, but the arrogance, the greed, all of that stuff that is clouding all of that needs to go for them to sit down and be able to have peace. Or else this is just, we'll be talking peace again, peace forever, and that's never going to happen. Not with, the attitudes that are there right now. So Black Queen says the world need a makeover. seriously need a makeover. But again, it's not impossible. But again, going back to the Bible, it says, those who seek peace pursue peace. Peace is not something that's just gonna just float there and you just grab it. You have to pursue it. And as it is, nobody is pursuing it. So there you go. Let's see. Black Queen, and back to you. Black Queen says, yes, and we're concerned about the issues of not having a Speaker of the House because it's holding up aid to Israel with White House. I guess that's White House. What about the hungry and homeless kids right here in the U.S.? Exactly. What about all? I mean, we have so many problems, yet more aid is going. Again, we're holding up aid to Israel. My question is always, what about the people of Palestine? If all of this aid is going one place, what about the people of Palestine who literally have nothing? Like literally right now, no water, no food, no electricity, and they're being bombed. What about the people of Palestine? What about the human beings there? And so again, this whole notion, it's like, no, not if you're doing this. Not if you're doing this. Let's see. Kathy Gabby says, Pedal, you should look at how the map changed over the decades since 1947. Palestine now occupies a dot. I have looked at that map, including the Gaza Strip. Palestinians are trapped on all sides. Yeah, they are. They can't go anywhere. I mean, even now, because again, the only way out was just bombed, and Egypt is not accepting them. So they're literally sitting ducks with no food, water, electricity, nothing. They're just literally sitting in rubble with nothing. How do you, if that was you, what would what would you need, and how would you be feeling right about now? And then knowing that the majority of people are not supporting you, how would that make you feel, and what would you do? So let's see. Naughty Doctor says Israel was created by the United Nations. The problem is since its creation, there has been wars and that aim to stop its existence. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But again, when you're sharing land with someone that you had the land before you, if you come and occupy it and then basically push them out, there's going to be issues. This just... I mean, that's just common sense. That's just not, this is not even thinking politics or whatever. There's going to be issues. Well, how do you work around it? How do you, if you're the person coming in, how do you form peace with the people who have already been there? We've seen that stuff happen with the United States and the American Indians. What happened to the Indians and what was done to them? So it just, yeah. Let's see. Donna says, Bonnie, I'm not a Christian. I don't agree with the New Testament because it is what the slave owners taught Black people to keep us oppressed. And, that is a valid point, Donna. That is definitely a valid point, that some people use the Bible to keep people oppressed, like our people. But the problem isn't with the scripture. Just so we're clear, the problem is not with the Bible. It's how it's used. People have used the Bible throughout centuries. I mean, throughout our history of the world, they've used the Bible to kill, to, brutalize, to oppress, to name it. They've used it to do it. And again, the problem isn't that, it's how people use it. Just because someone claims I'm a Christian does not mean they are. And so, but yeah, definitely valid point. Tashma says their statement wasn't support just for Israel. It was for all innocents. Absolutely true. The help is from the front lines in Israel, but the help is for all innocents, both sides. Absolutely true. But understand, when they didn't mention Palestine, then, that's when it's like, oh, well, maybe, a better, if I were writing it, and I wanted to stay completely neutral, I would say, organizations that we support in that area or in the Middle East, and, and not put, if you're not putting both, then don't put one. And so that's where, because when I first read it, that was my first instinct, like, well, what about Palestine? But then, when you read it, and in context, you understand the full, it's like, okay, no, they're talking about all people. But I think because I am so sensitive, because again, the majority of people, the majority of leaders and influential people that have been putting out report notices or putting out whatever, have all been supporting Israel, and they've not been for Palestinian people. And so for me, I'm very sensitive to, to that. But, reading the statement, it is clear that they are supporting all people. They're there to support people. It doesn't matter if they're Israeli or Palestinian, whatever. They're just there to support people who need help. And so understand, definitely reading comprehension helped. But my initial, when I saw it, when I saw but Israel, I was like, but Palestine. So that was my first two. So yeah. Let's see. Let's move on. I don't want to belabor this point. I mean, we're all in different places with it, and we're just gonna pray that we're just gonna pray for good things and better things and all of that stuff, because it's hard. It is hard to see suffering on either side, and to see that this stuff didn't have to happen. And so yeah. But anyways, back to our faves in the US, in particularly New York. I am so happy that, whether they're still here or they went off back home already, I'm just happy that it all went off without a hitch, that they were protected. And this is how you know that New York really messed up the last time. That the NYPD did not do their jobs the last time at all. And that's why all that mess happened. And this time they were not playing around. Again, I mean, I saw the 7 vans, and I obviously you don't know, if they were in those vans, but I did see them. But it just, and then you saw all the police presence and the security and stuff like that. And then obviously because the Surgeon General was there, so you had like Secret Service people, with those things in their ears and all of that stuff. So you had all of that there. And but again, underground garages. So the great thing, the great thing about it is that they did their job, but then it just really helped you to see how much they didn't do it the last time. So knowing that and knowing what a big mess that became, I'm sure New York, whether it's the mayor or the police commissioner or whatever, they're probably like, I do not want that happening again, because you don't want dignitaries coming into the city feeling like they are not safe. That is the last thing you want to have happen, especially in a place like New York. You do not want that. So I can understand why, when that happened, everybody went silent, because, let's just, do better next time. And so again, whether the Sussexes have already left, which I'm assuming they have by now, the police department did, they did their thing. And obviously why a lot of the British press is whining, because they were not able to do anything. But these photos are amazing. And of course, these are two, if just in case you hadn't gotten a chance to see it, these are two other panels that that happened before Harry and Meghan did their thing. And I'm still like so upset that I didn't get a ticket to see. I would have loved to hear this. But these are from family members, as you know, who were a part of the the summit, sharing about what their grief and their experience with their loved one who because of what their bullying and whatever happened to them on social media, they took their lives. And so Archewell says, Archewell founding Parent Summit, mental wellness is a digital age, brought together, Archewell Foundation's Parent Summit, mental wellness in a digital age, brought together parents who have experienced tragic loss connected to their child's social media use for a discussion on building community and creating a safer online world for young people. During an intimate conversation, these parents discussed how they are using their stories to inspire action and raise awareness of the dangers to young people's mental health. The parents whom the Archewell Foundation have engaged with over the past year highlighted the strengths and community they have found through a shared passion for creating meaningful change to prevent families from this tragedy. And that's from Archewell. And so again, it's, I can't imagine as a, I'm not a parent, but I do teach. And so I can't imagine, even for me as a teacher, knowing that I have a child, I'm teaching a child and then this happens, that would be beyond traumatic. So I can't even imagine how you deal with that as a parent. And so it's good to see that they now have community, that they don't have to go through it alone. I saw a little bit of a 60 minutes interview of just the gentleman on the top left and his wife talking about their daughter. I think she was 14, and how she learned how to, take herself out by a video or something on social media, on I think it was Instagram. And it was just really, really, really sad, and really, it was like so heartbreaking to, they didn't know, all they knew was that they had a healthy, happy child. And it was the night she did it, was one of her friend's parents called them, at night to check on their daughter. And then, they walked into her bedroom, which was locked, and they opened it and walked in and found their child. And it's just like, I don't even know how you deal with stuff like that. I don't know how you overcome that, if you ever able to. And so it's really great to see that they have community, and Archewell have brought them together. And so this is James Holt at the bottom, and I forgot her name at the top, who are co-CEOs or of Archewell Foundation. And so it's just it just is really incredible to, that they have half community, because that is so vital. And so these are some of the photos that, I guess the top left one, just in case you hadn't seen any video of it, is Harry, Meghan, and the Surgeon General Vivek Murthy in the audience, while the two other panels were going on, and when the parents were sharing their stories. And the top left, obviously, is at the end of when Harry and Meghan's and the Surgeon General's session. So it was just very emotional. So you can see the emotion on Harry's face. And at the end of their session, they were hugging Carson and the Surgeon General. And at the bottom is, I don't know if this happened before they all got together or after they all got together. The seminar was over, or this and so, but it's great to see them all just sit around in a circle, and I'm assuming they're chatting and whatever else. So this wasn't obviously televised, or I have not seen any video, which I would think not. This is them having their private time with Harry and Meghan. So, oh my goodness, my phone just rang. Sorry about that. This is what happens when you don't turn off your phone. So if you haven't seen it, I have not seen like a whole video. I've only seen the the 30-minute version of it, and that's the only place I saw it. Unfortunately, it was only on Sky News, and it was just like, what, I want to see this. So I held my nose and watched it, so yeah. What else? And Project Healthy Minds. This is a really cool article from Project Health, this organization Axios, which again, I love the fact that they have chosen like these grassroots kind of news outlets have been the ones that have been really reporting on the summit. And so it's really nice. They're just doing reporting. They're not here to, do any kind of ridiculous stuff. So Project Healthy Minds tweeted this. It says, thanks to Jennifer Kingston for this look behind the scenes of our World Health Day Festival from Axios. World Mental Health Day gets a Harry and Meghan boost. It says observance of the World Mental Health Day has snowballed, with luminaries like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle throwing their weight behind what had been a low-key annual observance. Yeah, it was very low key, and now it's like everybody is talking about it. And that's the power when you able, like Harry and Meghan, be able to put their global spotlight on this. Everybody is talking about it. It says why it matters. Mental health has turned into a defining social, medical, and workplace issue, especially for young Americans. Driving the news, as a nonprofit called Project Healthy Minds on Tuesday held what it says was the largest festival in the world dedicated to Mental Health Day, drawing 1,500 people to a flagship event in New York City. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, shared the stage with the U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy and TV host Carson Daly to discuss the impact of social media on youth mental health. And it says, for us, the priority here is to turn pain. This is Prince Harry talking. This is what he was part of what he said at the forum. It says, for us, the priority here is to turn pain into purpose. Said Prince Harry, whose organization, which he founded with his wife, the Archewell Foundation, hosts a forum for parents of children who died from suicide. And a little bit more, and just so you know a little bit more about a World Mental Health Day, it was established by the WHO in 1992. And it says this year's global theme is mental health is a universal human right. And so a little bit more about the summit, it says the depth of youth mental health struggles was on excruciating display during two successive panels of parents who had lost children to suicide, sponsored by Archewell Foundation Summit. And of course, the Tommy family talking about their 14-year-old girl that we just mentioned, and Jeannie Desario, who's described how her 16-year-old son Mason viewed a series of darker TikToks after his girlfriend broke up with him, and a lot of these kids, when they take their lives, their devices are sitting right next to them. And they talked about when something like this happens, when the police come, the first thing they will ask you is where are their phones or where are their devices, because a lot of times whatever it is that drove them to that, they got it from their devices. And a little bit about what Dr. Murthy says on Tuesday. Murthy, the Surgeon General, described a crisis of youth mental health, an issue that he has turned into a personal and professional mission, issuing an advisory in May about the effects of social media use. On Tuesday, he described his own fears for his children ages 5 and 7 and said that he and his wife hope to keep them off social media until they have finished middle school. To do so, he said, he was trying hard to band with other parents who vowed to do the same. The addictive and potentially harmful nature of social media pits the best designers and products against families, he said. He also said, we have placed the entire burden of managing that on parents and kids, he says, and that is not fair. And so it says, what's next? We hope that this will be a part of a wider conversation about how we support one another as we navigate the challenges of parenting in the digital age, James Holt, the co-executive director of Archewell Foundation, told the crowd. And so it's a lot more. If you like the link, I will, let me know. I'll send you the link again. I'm very wary of posting links on YouTube, as they keep, reminding me about link problems. And so I'm staying away. And, and so there was so much more about what Harry and Meghan had to say, especially Harry talking about turning the pain into action, doing something about it, and even they, even though both they've said, their kids are, obviously, Lily is little, she's 2, and Archie is like 4.5, and almost 4.5. Or he's probably 4.5 by now. They are still too young, but if it is where it is now, it's only getting worse. It's only going to get worse, and with AI thrown into it, it's even going. I mean, it's it's out of control as it is. People are already doing stuff like, using AI to create these, interviews that never happen, recreating people's voice. I mean, there's so much sick stuff going on with AI right now, and it's just got here. Imagine by the time baby Lily and Archie grow up, what is going to be out there. And so you have to deal with this now. And so I am so happy that they are working. And it's so funny. Dr. Murthy also said, they need community to be, he needs community to be able to, keep his kids off of social media until after middle school. And he even said, when my kids, they will say, well, Dad, I'm the only one that's not on social media. Then if say Harry and Meghan are in there partnering with him, he could be like, no, Harry and Meghan's kids are not on social media. So kids could know that they're not alone. Like they're not the only ones that are not doing it, so they really need community. And so that's why I'm really happy that they're all together and building that community. So, and some kids are already on it. And so it's just the whole, it's like, oh my goodness. And again, if I know it's the reason why I'm spending more time on Spoutable than even on Twitter, because Twitter is a cesspool. It's a cesspool of lies, misinformation, especially the stuff that's going on in the Middle East. There's so much lies that is posted there. It takes your breath away, because now Elon Musk has, taken away a lot of the controls, a lot of where they could be able to stop that stuff. It's gone. So people are just posting whatever. And so it is just really, really, oh my goodness. So, but one of the other things that, that came out of it, which I don't know, it's just always it's these little things that always makes me feel good. People who have met Harry and Meghan have worked with them. Again, they all have the same things to say about them, So Carson Daly, he's on the Today Show, and so he was talking to Hoda and those guys about what it was like to be with Harry and Meghan and to host the session with them. And so people picked up a little bit of what he was saying in the video. He says, while attending the event in New York City with husband Prince Harry for Mental Health Day, Meghan Markle was all about the hugs. According to Carson Daly, the Today Show co-host, who moderated a discussion with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex during the Archewell Foundation Summit about navigating mental health challenges online on Tuesday, Meghan, 42, preferred the warm greeting over the normal formal protocol. And it's so funny. I have the handshake instead of their hug. But, the video, actually, the bottom picture is part of a video, and they sort of like Meghan was hugging Carson, and then they switched, and then Harry was hugging Carson, and she switched it. So yeah, they were all hugging each other. But I don't have the picture on here. It says, one of the main events was a special conversation I shared. That's Carson talking. One of the main events was a special conversation that I shared with the Duke and Duchess, Harry and Meghan, about how to build a safer space online for our kids and teenagers, Daly told Savannah Guthrie, Hoda Kotb, Al Roker, and Craig Melvin Wednesday morning, while recapping the previous day events. And he says, by the way, they are so great. People ask me, how are the royals? And I don't know whether to curtsy or to hug, like what's the royal rules and whatnot. And Meghan said, bring it in. And with a big hug, he said, before Guthrie responded, that's really cool. And we know she has been very shady about the Sussexes, And a little bit more from the article. It says, the panel ended with Daly asking Meghan, as a mom of two young kids, after the stories that we've heard today from the families that you've gotten to know over the past year and work with, and the work that Archewell is doing in this space, where is this on the priority list? Not as a kick booty mom, but as a mom, excuse my French. And Meghan says, being a mom is the most important thing in my entire life, outside of being a wife to this one. You saw the videos, were kind of cute. Meghan responded while gesturing to Harry. She added, but I will say that I feel fortunate that our children are at an age, again, quite young. So this isn't in our immediate future, but I feel frightened at how it's continuing to change, and this will be in front of us. Harry and Meghan received this That was her quote. And then it goes on to say Harry and Meghan received a standing ovation following the panel. The two of them shared hugs with Daly and Murphy, and they were as they made their way off the stage. And so it's just very again, the whole thing with everything that that has been reported out about the summit has been a great success. People have benefited so much from it and are talking about it. And so it just, I really, I mean, I'm so proud of these two. And again, Archewell is it's so new, and look at what they're doing, and look at the stage. I mean, they got the US Surgeon General to come and be a part of it. You guys watch the video. The things that he had to say he's so empathetic and so amazing. I'm like, if I had kids, I'd want to partner with him, because he just loves and just want the best for kids, and he has, again, kids like 5, and his kids are 5 and 7. So they're very young. So very, very, very cool. Oh, B10 Pow, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so, yes, what else? And talk about, after all of that happened on Tuesday, yesterday, this happened. And the funny thing is, this isn't getting the amount of attention it needs to get. Because right after Harry and Meghan, did that whole summit, this is the New York Attorney General, New York's Attorney General James. The same one that is taking out Donald Trump right now. Yes, that's her. And she tweeted, AG James, she tweeted this. She says, social media platforms are fueling a youth mental health crisis, and we need to do more to protect to protect kids online. Today, which is yesterday, I am announcing legislation with Governor Kathy Hochul, Senator Gunnardus, and Neely to both limit social media features that harms kids and protect kids' online data. She goes on to say, our bill will, one, prohibit websites from collecting and sharing kids' personal data and location. It will also limit addictive features of social media like algorithm feeds. And it'll also empower my office, the Attorney General's office, to hold platforms accountable for breaking the law and endangering kids. All of these things were what Harry and Meghan and their teams were talking about yesterday that needs to happen to help. And she also goes on to say, this legislation will help tackle the negative impact social media has on our children and safeguard their privacy online. Governor Hochul, Gunnardus, and Neely and I are proud to help advance these common sense measures to protect the next generation of New Yorkers. Recent studies have shown that social media can cause devastating mental health effects on our children, including increased rates of depression, anxiety, and self-harm. 97% of teens online and 66% of them say that they regularly see hate-based content. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what we needed, And again, I don't know if Harry and Meghan were working with her behind the scenes. Would I doubt it? No, at all. I would not doubt it. I don't know. And I'm hoping if they didn't, that they know that she, made this announcement yesterday. But it's so incredible that the things that were talked about that needs to happen to ensure kids are not endangered online is exactly what the Attorney General is saying. And that's exactly. And so I'm like, yes, this is impact. This is impact. Aside from her taking down Donald Trump and all his minions, she had time to come and take care of her kids. The day after Harry and Meghan summit, I was just like, I'm telling you, Black women are making it happen. They're making it happen. I am like, thank you so much, AG James. Thank you. I appreciate it. She is fierce. I'm telling you, she is fierce. I love her. So I am so really excited about this and one day, and look at, I mean, of course, I'm sure they've been working on it behind the scenes, but I'm so happy. It just really, really was amazing to see that it dropped the day after Harry and Meghan summit. It just like, yep, we hear you. This is what we're doing for New Yorkers. Now, I hope that other attorney generals in the other states, again, this is in New York, so every state operate the way they operate is very different. So hopefully, other states will pick this up and, imitate New York in this to protect children online. And so I am just like, I'm talking about impact, immediate impact. It is just, yes, 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 yes. Thank you, AG James, or Trish James. Her name is Trish. Thank you. Thank you for taking out Donald Trump. We'll, wait for that stuff to happen. But, and thank you for doing this. This is amazing. So I am just like, I'm telling you, this is the impact. I mean, and again, Harry and Meghan are private citizens. They do not have to do this. There is no, they are under no obligation to do any of the things that they're doing. They take it upon themselves, and their little plaque on their flower thing at the seminar said, or their summit said, they're simply there to try to do good. That's all they're about. They're doing good. So I am very, very, very excited about this. Lorna says, I want the Attorney General of New York to go after X. Just because it's a private company doesn't give Musk the right to promote hate. Exactly. And so in terms of, protecting kids, according to what she said, that it's going to give her office more power to go after and hold these companies accountable. I mean, X is a cesspool. It is. If you thought it was bad when it was owned by, what is it, Jack, whatever his last name is, who started it. If you thought it was bad then, it is oh my goodness. It is a cesspool of lies, misinformation. It's just like all over. And it's not just, trolls doing it. Even the president was talking about something that was a complete lie and stuff that based off of lies on on Twitter, especially. It is just like, are you serious? And they have to backtrack. And it's just like, oh my gosh, there is just so much lies. And so I am just, hopefully Twitter really needs to go. Twitter and I think Facebook, they really need to go. It is a mess. Let's see. Madwell says, if I can lie about my property value, the orange thug should not be, if I can't lie about my property value, the orange thug should not be able to either. I'm telling you, that man has gotten away with so much, but I am glad that AG Trish James is, I'm telling you, she is on it. So I am really, really, really like, you go. And not just her. I mean, I think the Attorney General in Atlanta doing the same thing with their whole voting stuff. And so, yeah, it just, thank you, AG Letitia James. You are amazing. So yes. Let's see. Marjorie said, so great the AG has highlighted Tuesday's summit. Yeah, even though she didn't name it, she didn't say that that's where it's from or anything like that. But for it to come the day after, it's absolutely great. It is absolutely great. Madwell says, New York AG James is also going after the NRA. I'm telling you, every AG needs to go after the NRA and this country is such a mess. There's so many things to deal with. There's so much. There is so much. It's just crazy. Madwell said, yep, she is definitely on top of it. She is definitely on top of it. Karen says, hey, Karen Warner, Prince Harry's red hair looked great with his color suit and shirt. The ginger show up. He looked good. He does. He really, really does. And so very excited. They both looked amazing. And I'm very, very excited about the work that they are doing. It's just so good. It is so, so good. Marjorie says, Letitia. Okay, it's the same person, right? Trish or Letitia? Tish James or Letitia James. I think some people call her Tish. And that's why I said AG James, because it's like, We know who it is, either Tish or Letitia. I think people call her different things, but I think Tish is the short for Letitia. But thank you, Marjorie. Let's see. And Lewis says H&M, Harry and Meghan will never please everyone. They damned if they do, if and damned if they don't. It's human nature. They strive forward. They strive forward. Who are trying to navigate any upside world that cannot control Pandora's box, the internet. I kind of think I understand what you mean. Yeah. It's like there's always going to be people who's going to not like something about something, so it's kind of like, you know what, you're not there to please everybody. You say what you say and you move on. So there. Terry says, that's true, Marjorie. Carson was gushing about them and the others weren't that pleased, jealous as usual. Well, Savannah Guthrie has always been very shady about them, especially Meghan. And even though Hoda interviewed Harry, she's also been kind of shady about Meghan. And so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. So yeah, but Carson loved them. He loved being with them. So there you go. Marjorie says Meghan laughed when Carson said kick tushy, kick butt. Yeah, she laughed, and that's when Carson was like, pardon my French or something like that. Yeah. Black Queen says, she's talking to Dolores, says heads together, which is Kate and Williams. Well, it was Kate, William, and Harry, but since Harry left, there's nothing has been happening with that. Says heads together will continue to be a failure because Dim and Dim can't stand to have their heads within an inch of each other. They haven't really done anything with it. They go to other people's events for mental health, which is what they've done here, which, this would have been something for them to have copied. Use the heads together and put together an event with heads together. That would have been something that would have benefited instead of, and invite people, build a community. And that's the difference between them and Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan have been working with these families for about a year. So they didn't just show up to, somebody's organization so they can learn for like the 50 millionth time, but not really contribute and not really be a part of the solution. If they want to imitate something or copy something, this would be the thing to copy. This would be, it's like, Harry and Meghan do the hard work. They put in the work. They spent a year. They don't just show up and learn from the people. Again, they come prepared. They know these people. They've built relationship, and now they're adding more people and building more community so that their community gets wider, and raise awareness. Now it's worldwide. People are talking about this summit, so gosh, guys, if you want to, copy something, copy this model. You got to do the hard work. That's what it is. You got to put your hand in the mess and do the hard work as the Sussexes and build a community, so they have such a huge platform. If they are wise, they can actually use the platform for good, which is why Harry's not anti-monarchy. He just sees the monarchy as something that can be for good. They have the influence, they have the money, they have all of the things they need to be an incredible source for good in the world. And it's like they're clueless. They are absolutely clueless and too lazy to do anything about it. So anyway, moving on from those craziness. What else? And so when the Attorney General, Attorney General posted her thing, Coalition for Asian American Children and Families, which I didn't know existed until yesterday, posted this. It says, CACF strongly supports this proposed new legislation to keep our kids safe, to keep our kids and teens safe on the internet. And this organization, actually, they said they're the only, and I'm just going to move this so you can read it properly. And it is so important because one of the things that we have is almost like a pandemic is Asian kids, especially Asian kids in like university, like NYU and stuff, are outing themselves. They are taking themselves out because for whatever, they really are going through a difficult time. And so stuff like this will help to, be able to help them. It says, as the nation's only Pan-Asian children and families advocacy organization, CACF has had an inside look at the current mental health crisis affecting our children and teens. Asian American girls are particularly vulnerable, with studies showing that they are both more likely to experience symptoms of depression and less likely to seek help from school counselors, says Anita Gundana and Vanessa Leon, co-executive directors of Coalition for Asian American Children and Families. CSCF is proud to support this new legislation backed by Governor Hochul, Attorney General James, Senator Gunardis, and Assembly Member Rosick, that would both protect the mental health of our young people and ensure that their personal data is safeguarded. The addictive nature of social media apps, along with their lack of age-appropriate internet safeguards, often create a perfect storm when it comes to anxiety, depression, body image, and mental health. So kudos to them that they're, supporting it. They were the first ones that, when I saw, jumped and really supported that legislation. So, hopefully many Asian girls, actually both boys and girls, would benefit from this. So kudos to them. So what else is happening? And this one, I'm sure you guys know, even before that they went to, even before they went to the summit, they went to the school. Of course, none of us knew about it. It's just like, what? Who knew? Nobody knew that they were part of this school. It's called the Mercy Lab, and nobody knew they actually fund the school. I don't know if they are the only people that fund it, but they have funded. They're a big part of funding the school, where the kids are in the school. They don't have to pay any tuition. They come to the school for free. They learn technology. It's amazing. Actually, one of the girls, it's so wild because while they were talking to the girls, one of the girls just got a job with Spotify, and it's like, ooh, that's a little awkward. But Spotify is a tech company, so it's like, okay, it's fine. But it's just like, it's kind of learning, alternative learning, and so it is really, really cool to see. And it's based in Brooklyn, and so everybody was like, what? And of course, Meghan is over there wearing her Robert Clark's varsity jacket. And so it is really, again, if you hadn't gone on the Sussex website, please check it out. It's so wonderful to see that they've updated their website. I'm always on their case about their website. They have updated it. Everything that has happened is now on that website. It's just like, oh, they're on the ball. Whoever is doing this now, kudos to them. I don't have to yell at them anymore. But this is really cool. It says, Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, stopped by the Mercy Lab. A partner, this is what Sussexes are saying, a partner of the Archewell Foundation, to meet the exceptional fall 2023 fellows, gaining the skills to pursue a purpose-driven career in technology. And the kids and they are part of the school for 1 year. So, and it's an intensive training. It says, based in Brooklyn, the New York Mercy Lab fellows are high school graduates, 18 to 24, who participate in a year-long fellowship designed to teach the software engineer skills they need to pursue tech jobs while incorporating mental wellness and civic engagement into their curriculum. Mercy Lab is focused on building a more diverse technology sector through their education of the next generation of software engineers who are taught to use technology for good. Since its founding in 2019, the Mercy Lab School has had 128 graduates pursue careers in software engineering at companies around the world. During their visit, the Duke and Duchess met the fellows who shared their aspirations for building a better online world and fostering a more inclusive tech community. They also spoke with alumni about how their experience at Mercy Lab prepared them for their new roles, teaching them the technical skills needed to succeed alongside a tailored personal development and leadership curriculum. Archewell Foundation has partnered with the Marcy Lab for the past year and is proud to support their incredible work as they educate the innovating young leaders of tomorrow. It is amazing. I mean, these are their kids. It is absolutely amazing. Again, not just going to learn, but they literally put their money where their mouth is. It's like these kids are there because of them. These kids don't have to pay a cent. That everything is free for them. Sussex pay them to go to school and learn technology. And hello. And Marcy Lab tweeted, "It's been an exciting day at Marcy Lab School. Today we were thrilled to welcome Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, to campus to meet the fall 2023 and spring 2023 fellows." And it is great. It says, again, that they are partnered with them for the past year. It is just really wonderful to see. It is, again, if the Cambridges want to copy, here's the thing. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money, go fund the school. Go, put your money where your mouth is. These are the things that they don't want to do. They hoard their money and just go into people's schools and take pictures. This is not just pictures. They actually fund these kids, and so it's great. And another thing, again, I'm really happy to see, they funded this, they helped fund this organization to use grassroots local news. This is one, Spectrum, very local to New York. New York One is a New York station as opposed to the bigger ones. And so it is just great to see, New York One was at the event with them, and it's great. It is wonderful. See, we don't need the British press because we have New York press covering it, and so it is great. And Harry was basically like, "Thank you for having us. You guys are doing incredible." And and Meghan says, "We're happy to be back in New York. They're happy to be back in New York, happy to be here with you, and most grateful to, of course, be able to be here and witness what's being created here," the Duchess says. And so, yeah, it's really, really wonderful. And, I guess the leaders of the group says, Ruben, the guy, says they made a financial commitment to Marcy Lab a little less than a year ago, and along with that, a commitment that they made a promise to uplift our work and shine a light on it. And it's really cool to see the way that they did that today. Ruben, who's the co-founder of Marcy Lab, told New York One, who was at the event. And again, the Sussexes keeping their word. They say they're going to do something, and they have done it. And it's really, really, really wonderful to see, so I'm just like, yes, and the co-leader of the her name is Maya. She talked about just how wonderful it is to have people as wonderful and special as Harry and Meghan come and be, and how incredibly encouraging it was for the kids there. And I was just like, oh, this is so sweet. I mean, look at them. I'm telling you, Harry and Meghan, I'm telling you, if they ever need a new, another home, just get one in New York. They're just totally fit in with New Yorkers. And I'm like, if you're ever thinking of getting a second home, New York would be the place. So, hey, I'm just saying, including getting Invictus to New York. That's another thing. So yeah, very, very exciting. But again, if Kensington Palace want to imitate something and want to, here is something they could imitate. So yes. And oh yeah. You guys, Harry's Spare could be nominated for a Grammy. And not Penguin House have put out Spare and a bunch of other titles up for nomination. It says Spare, written by Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, for your Grammy consideration. And so so it's up for best audiobook, narration, storytelling, recording. So that's what that's what they put it up for. I mean, the recording of Spare, that everybody talks about Spare. It is amazing. So I don't see why it shouldn't be nominated. of course, I was hoping that Harry and Meghan docuseries got nominated, and it didn't get nominated. So, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm telling you, Spare has been so amazing. I don't see why it wouldn't get nominated. So fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed that it gets nominated. That would be great. Pamela's like, Petal, stop giving the Cambridges ideas, please. Look, my thing is, look, if you're going to have, and again, you know me, I am not, I am not here for the Cambridges. But my thing is, it's more important to me, no matter what I think about them, it's more important to me that the people, the kids and the people in their community benefit and from, if they're going to be getting their money anyway, if they're going to be supporting this royal family that's there, then they should get benefit from that royal family. They should be doing things in the community to, because again, the people of the UK are already paying them to do this job. So if you're going to do the job, then the people of the community need to benefit from it. And so for me, it's more important than not being here for the Sussex, for the Cambridges. It's more important for me that the community benefit from, if they're going to be paying for the royals, they benefit from it, then I care about, whatever William and Kate are doing or saying or whatever. So it's just like, and I hate to see when people have these kind of platform, it's just being, they're just being lazy, but they're not doing the most that they can do to benefit the community. It's such a shame. It is such a shame. And so it just, all right, but I understand, not give them ideas, but it's just like, look. Sandra Hill, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate it. She says, hope karma comes to Hoda also. Thank you, Petal. Well, I think karma has done a number on her. She's been going through a really hard time. I don't wish hurt on anybody else because she's been going through a lot. But she has been shady. Let's just say that's the reason why her and all the rest were on my doghouse. They still are. Carson was a little different because of his struggles and him working in the mental health space and stuff. So I'm not gonna put Carson in that mode. So, but yeah, it just, yeah, they be nasty people. So, anyways, so also I didn't know this, but Archewell baby, which is she's a squatty, she posted this, and I've been looking to try to find where she found this information, but apparently, because that Spare, it was translated into what, I don't 16 or 18 different languages, but now she said 18 different languages. Now it's being translated into 40 different languages. And I was like, oh my goodness. So if I find this information, or where to find this information, please let me know to find it, so I can, because obviously I want to verify that is the fact, that is in case what is happening. But that's amazing. Again, more and more people are wanting to get to know Harry's stories, and it's really amazing. It is absolutely wonderful and amazing. So you go, Harry, and so hopefully too gets nominated for a Grammy. It deserves it. Finally, why are we like this? Why are squatties like this? Y'all remember what is 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever, when they had the event in Santa Barbara, which, by the way, the people of Santa Barbara and their press still have not gotten over this event that the Sussexes went to, the fundraiser, the 1805 Live fundraiser at Kevin Costner's place. They are still buzzing about it. They're still talking about it. In fact, they were so honest about it. They're like, I think it's the San Francisco something it's called. They're like, we still buzzing about this. We can't believe. They are still, they still can't believe they met Harry and Meghan. It's craziness, but that's still going on. But part of what happened is that Harry and Meghan took a picture with this priest. And some squatty, again, why are we like this? Some squatty decided, well, that's well and God that you're, good that you're a man of the cloth and a man of supposedly of God and all that stuff. But you're in between Harry and Meghan. You have to go. We are deleting you. I was like, yo, you're going to hell for this. So they did this botch, Photoshop job of deleting I almost said the queen, deleting the priest from the picture. And obviously you could see it's like, we need to give you a lesson in photoshopping. And it's so funny. I saw Baron did a better job of it the other day. I saw a little piece of his podcast, and he's like, he did a better job of photoshopping it together to put Harry and Meghan together, because as a squatty, nothing comes between Harry and Meghan, not even a man of the cloth. And after that whole big thing blew up, and everybody's like, why you delete the priest? You're going to hell. You would think squatties would know. They would know better. But here again, it's like, you do not come around. Not this time. He's not even in the middle. He's on the side. There is no reason to delete him. And not only did they delete him, if you look at the bottom of who they deleted, he's the photographer. The one that gave us all these beautiful photos. Lee Morgan. He is their photographer, and a squatty deleted him. I'm like, why are we like this? Why are we like this? It's like, nobody, I don't care if you're the photographer who gave us all these beautiful pictures, you cannot take a picture with Harry and Meghan. You're going to be deleted. Poor Lee, he did not deserve it. It's actually a really nice picture. But a squatty deleted him. And it's just like, we have not learned. So there you go. Anyway, I think that's all I got. I'm going to be in the chat for like a couple minutes, and before we end, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I don't know why we are like this. It's just, Rosa's like, Pedal, I'm laughing at this too. I know, we're terrible. You would think we would learn when, it's like fire and brimstone came down when they deleted the priest. You'd think we would learn, but apparently not. Give Love is like, squatties are so extra. Totally extra. It's like, V-Dub is like, squatties are very protective. I'm telling you, overly protective, I have to say. A little overprotective. It's just like, ish. V. Thomas says, okay, Paddle, don't care about what Kate and Willie do in the UK, because people over there are okay with their money, and get nothing back in return. I know, right? It's very sad to see. But my thing is like, look, if you're going to be, you're going to be copying Meghan's clothes. I mean, every time she wears something, you either wear the same color or the same style or whatever it is she's doing. If you're going to be copying stuff, at least copy the good stuff. Copy the stuff that's going to help you. I.e., hard work, putting in the hard work, building community, building relationships, so that when you show up for an event, or you've been in business how many years now, you should be hosting these events and bringing people in and forming community. Imitate those things. Those are the things, if you want to go copy something, you should be copying. And leave Meghan's clothes alone. Find your own style. Devil says, airbrushing the man of the cloth. Really? I'm telling you. These people are not afraid. I'm telling you, fire and brimstone came down on the person who did that, and still we have not learned. Yes, Lee is not a man of the cloth, but still, still. Sonia says, Petal, can I even dream that Princess Meghan will write her book soon? Well, it seems you and the British press, I see little inklings that they're talking about Meghan's memoir and how it's not going to be it's not going to be as successful as whatever, something to that effect. I don't care. I have no idea if Meghan is writing a memoir or not. She hasn't said anything, so I'm not going to give it any of my brain time, that's for sure. If she writes one, she writes one, I don't know. But it just, I, who knows? I mean, according to what they said in the beginning of the year, well, actually, even in the Harry and Meghan docuseries, they said they're done with all their look back projects, like the book, the Harry and Meghan docuseries, the Oprah Winfrey, all things of looking back. And now they're focused on, what's ahead. So I don't know if she will look back and write that. It is within her right if she wants to do it. I mean, I would call it Dear Diary. Oh, you can imagine. And Meghan is so meticulous. The things that would be in that book. So who knows? I don't know. But Sonia, dream away, my dear, dream away. Let's see. Oh, buy me 10 pounds. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm so happy you were here. Let's see. A green tea. Oh, green tea. Green tea says, and there were Sussexes there. They support all in need. They support all in need. Don't support what side they are. I'm not quite sure I understand what you're referring to. So maybe just let me know what so I can so I'm not guessing what you mean. B10 says, yes, Hoda did has her come up, and she has gone through a really rough time. So I'm not even, I wish her the best, even though she is shady. Joan Karma says, Karma has dealt with Hoda. Yep, she has definitely gone through quite a bit of stuff. Let's see. Anne Louise says, he's talking to Anita. William visit is the crown. He does not have an original idea how it works or the target market. He does sound bites of the moment, and then they do not hear anything afterwards. Yeah, with all the things that, I will end world peace. Racism must end. I will end homelessness with $3 million. The whole 3 million pounds, whatever. It just, you're right. Sound bites, and then you're like, okay, and what are you doing? Again, the hard work, putting in the hard work. So they don't do it. Let's see. Bonnie says, Anita, William doesn't want to spend his billions. He will just get it off taxpayers and take the credit. Look at, the duchies that they own that have so much land. They're the biggest landowners in the UK, so much property, so much housing. And William decides, I'm going to have 3 million. 3 million is going to end all poverty in the UK. It's just like, dude. I mean, really? So anyways, let's say a couple more before we end. Fatumata, hey Fatu says, I don't think she'll write a memoir. And if she does, I doubt it would be now, maybe down the road. I don't know. But again, will I be shocked if it happens? No, I won't. And again, Harry got to tell his story. It corrected a whole bunch of lies. And so, Meghan's story, it will correct a whole bunch of lies that was told about her. So much more lies told about her than actually even Harry. So it just, But again, will she go down that road now? Not sure. I know she wants to establish herself doing whatever it is she's going to be doing with WME. But again, with the strike as it is, they SAG, even though she may not be acting, her production stuff, nothing is gonna be happening for a while because the strike that's going on, the WEJ, which is the Writers Guild, they have settled their agreement with the studios. SAG today, them and the studios walked away from the table because apparently what the studios are offering SAG is less than what they offer them before the strike. So they are doing this really hardline thing with SAG. And so now they are so far apart. They have walked away from the table, don't have any idea when they're coming back to the table, and the strike continues. So whatever Harry and Meghan, or Meghan alone, had in mind, whether it be it production, be it, whatever media deals, whatever, as long as it has anything to do with those studios and SAG, is on hold. because again they walked away from it. I mean, it's ridiculous what is happening. The studios would not agree, they refused to back down, in especially using the actors images, recreating it with AI, whereby they can recreate your image and not pay you money, and use your image for eternity, and not pay you. And it's craziness. It is absolutely crazy that they are really demanding them, because a lot of the studios spend a ton of money hiring a bunch of AI people to their studios, because that they don't want to pay the actors, and the creative people, they don't want to do it. And so they are getting billions off of these actors and creatives, and whether it's producers, directors, whatever, they're making billions off of them, and don't want to pay. And it's just like, are you serious? And so whenever people like, they assume because that an actor or whatever is on a red carpet that they are making money. It's like, no, that was the studio. It's like, okay, we don't really want to pay you really what you deserve, but we're going to give you some, publicity. We're going to give you some, red carpet. You're going to be in lights and all of that stuff. That's why I always say, the people on the red carpet are the poor ones. You never see studio heads on red carpets. You never see that. The money is never out there. The ones that are, the poorer ones are the ones you'll find on red carpets. So when people are like, oh, Harry and Meghan are not on red carpet, I was like, do you ever see the head of Disney on red carpet? Do you ever see the head of, Netflix on a red carpet? I mean, you ever see the head of, Warner Brothers on a red carpet? No, the money is never there. So very interesting. But anyway, so whatever Meghan has, in store, a lot of it, those projects are until they are able, SAG and the studios are able to come back together, that's on hold. It is very, very, very sad to see. Yeah. We'll support Meghan. And Amaka says we'll support Meghan with any of her projects. Absolutely. I mean, we're here with Meghan no matter what. We're here with Harry no matter what. They've got us. Michelle Fear says, if M writes a book, I hope it won't be for a long time. She has enough going on, and I'd rather she concentrate on her projects. She needs a break, not pressure at this time. I agree. A break, just take a break from anything royal and all of that mess, and just live her life. And, she looks happy and free and beautiful and all of those things. Just leave that mess alone for a while and live her life. Karen says, I think Princess Meghan is comfortable for now, that she was given a platform by Oprah to speak a truth and represent herself for now. Like she said, they are striving and moving forward to build. Yeah. And I wish them all luck. V. Thomas says, this is crazy. They should pay the actors and writers. They made a bundle of money off of them. I'm telling you. I remember Disney CEO, I think it was on his private jet, talking about about what SAG and the writers and the actors are asking for is basically it's not gonna work, because basically they're asking for more money, and there he is on his private jet, and it's just like it's like, what? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It's like they have their mansions, their private jets, and don't want to give people pay people what they're worth, while you're raking in money, and now want AI to recreate their image, and where you get to profit off of them, and they don't get paid for their own like, in what world is that okay? In what world? And I'm telling you, this is where I'm always about building your own table. And it's good to see a lot of the actors that have their own production companies and stuff like that. This is where the studios, people, I don't know how it will work, but going bye-bye to those studios and creating your own stuff. Go bye-bye to them. And, where I don't know how it all is going to work, but it's just like, look, there was a time that, it was like, people had to watch movies in movie theaters. And then, now we have streaming, and very, people still go to movie theaters, but not as much as, we have a whole new way of viewing. And I think the same thing has to happen with those studios. There's a whole new way of funding your films and away from those studios, make them irrelevant. And so it's really sick. It's really, really sick. So anyways, that's my thing. I am not here for it. So anyways, hi, Pramel. I know she's like, it seems I'm late joining in, but good day to everyone. Good day to you too. And I'm ending actually because one, I tend to forget to eat, and until I'm really, really hungry, and I am really, really hungry, so I'm going off to eat. Blackwee says, Fiddle, I hope they don't demonetize this episode on your channel just because you spoke the truth to power in your humanity. I hope so. But I mean, I've had podcasts before where they didn't demonetize it, but they limit monetizing it, so you get that yellow thing because of the content, especially, one of it, they did that for a couple of days, and I guess they did a review of it, and I didn't challenge you. We were talking about Dan Wooten and all that mess with it, and I guess they felt like when they saw it, they took away the funding from it. They left the video there. They didn't take it down or anything. They just limit the amount. They limit the funding because of the content. And so they did that, and I didn't challenge it. I was just like, whatever. And then a couple of days later, they put the funding back, and I was like, oh, because I mean, what we were speaking about was facts, and so it wasn't anything, really, it wasn't anything really like, graphic in the sense. It was graphic, but not like, intentionally. It was just speaking the truth of what things were. So yeah, I hope they don't demonetize it, but I mean, again, what am I gonna do? I'm not about lies. I'm not about being, I'm not about groupthink. I see things and I call things as they are, and I see, as I see it. And for me, it's about speaking truth to power. And if someone is, I mean, I'm not here to offend anyone, but when I see something that is not right, I will call it out, and whatever happens. That's just me. I don't like lies. I don't like being lied to, and I'm not here to lie to anybody. And so for me, again, when you hear the truth, it's not pleasant sometimes. It's a lot of times. I mean, I just, and I think because of the friends that I have, I'm used to people, when I'm doing something wrong, my friends will call me out. They will look me in the eyes like, you know what, this is wrong and you got to change. And so that's the community I'm used to. I don't get away with stuff. And so, and I know that because it's based on love. It's not because they hate me or anything like that. I know it's because they want me to be the best that I can be. And so they call it out so that I can change. And so that's the kind of community I'm a part of and that I'm used to. And so I don't know any other way of being. And I feel like if you love, then you love with the truth. You love, you respect and you love someone enough to speak truth to them in hopes that whatever they're doing, they can change it and be better people. And so that's where I've come from. And that's the world that I live in. And so that's what I give. So if it's demonetized, there's nothing I could do. We'll just move on to the other one, the next episode. But I am so happy that you guys got to hang out with me, and thank you so much. For all of you who support the channel, thank you. So all of our 2 cents crew and all of you who are signed up, thank you so much. I see you. I appreciate you guys just monthly supporting the channel. Honestly, paying for all this stuff, you help me, so thank you. And thank you to all of you who support in the chat, or gold star supporters in the chat, whether it's donation or super stickers, or if you did PayPal or Cash App. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate all of you. And to our wonderful, wonderful moderators, Lydia Trishnelli, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen, you are rock stars as usual. Thank you so very much. I love you all, and I will chat with you manana. Have a fantastic day, everybody. I love you.